We are very excited to show you the GigEagle platform in action. This is real working software you're seeing. Nothing here has been faked for demonstration purposes. It is a sandbox environment with fake data, so fake people, real software. And I'm here to highlight the most important features of the platform. The main goal of this GigEagle prototype is to prove that we can match skills that are currently undiscoverable, but nonetheless available, with the needs of the DoD. For this first incarnation of GigEagle, we are focusing on reservists and National Guard, specifically on their civilian skills, making them discoverable and harnessable by DoD active duty managers. So, there are two sides to the marketplace, the supply side, which are the reservists, and the demand side, which are the gig managers of the DoD. We're going to start here on the supply side with Bruce Wayne. He's one of our reservists that has opted in to the GigEagle platform and has created a profile. He wants to make his civilian skills available to the DoD. Bruce has told GigEagle a lot about himself in his profile, and we can harness that information to match him with gigs where his skills can really be used. Bruce Wayne is a UX designer in New York. If he wanted, he could add a picture to his profile and edit his name and location. We know certain military info about Bruce that ID.me provided with his first login. He is a member of the Navy, he's a member of the Reserve. He also has a military specialty code here that he has assigned to himself. He has provided a short general description about himself and his availability. Gender and ethnicity can be optionally entered as part of a profile if offered. They are only used to ensure that GigEagle is unbiased and inclusive as it makes its matches. Bruce Wayne has quite a few skills and endorsements, and we see here that he has actually staffed a couple of gigs in the past, which have been automatically added to his profile. One was as a software developer, and one was as a UX designer. You can see the skills that were involved in each case. Bruce has quite a bit of work experience and education that are part of his profile. Most basic profile information originally comes from a parsed, uploaded resume, although there could be additional information that the reservist has added directly. It's very important to understand the preferences section. These are things that are specific to GigEagle and the staffing of the gig. Bruce can say when he is available to start staffing gigs and some details about his availability. In terms of compensation, he can say that he's available only for paid gigs or retirement points. And he can specify the kind of gigs that he is open to. Is he open to travel? Is he open to working remotely? Is he open to actually relocating for the gig if that would be required? All of these are parameters that will help guide the software in terms of matching his skills with the meaningful gigs. Now we can go back to his homepage and see a number of gigs that are listed here already for his review. There are some that he has selected as favorites. You can tell it's a favorite because of the red heart. But beyond that, we can see evidence of the power of the AI software without having to say what he's looking for at all. There are gigs that are recommended for him by the software based on his skills. There are 17 gigs relevant to his profile here. One of them is a software developer gig that he has already applied for. He already knows that he's a strong match for this one. He knows its location, who the gig manager is, the desired start and end dates, the estimated time commitment, the fact that it can be staffed flexibly, and that travel is funded. He has already applied and is waiting to hear back from the gig manager. In addition, he can search for gigs beyond what the software thinks he might be suitable for. There are quite a few filters that he can use to look for gigs. Should he decide that he wants to apply for a gig, he can simply click Apply. When applying, he has to designate who his supervisor is, so that the gig manager can notify Bruce's supervisor if he's chosen to actually staff a gig. And that's all it takes to apply. And finally, up here at the top, the People link lets Bruce see the rest of the GigEagle community. So these are the highlights of the supply side of the gig marketplace. Over here on the demand side of the marketplace is where hiring managers will go to create their gigs and to run a candidate funnel to zero in on the most suitable talent available. This is a gig manager homepage. You can see that there are a number of gigs that this manager has in the system. He or she can filter either for My Gigs or for All Gigs to generate this list. Let's look specifically at this Machine Learning Engineer gig. This is a published gig. Here is the overview. But let's go into how we can generate this. How does the gig manager decide and communicate to people what they're looking for? That process is called calibration, and so we click on Calibrate Gig to go to the calibration page where the hiring manager says what they are looking for. Job title, an ideal candidate if there is one in the system, skills, and time spent in particular companies or industries. They might have a preferred seniority level or preferred years of experience that they're looking for, or a particular type of school or degree. Regarding the gig itself, they can say whether it's continuous or flexible, whether they have the funding, and if it's ADOS AC or MPA. Finally, they can specify the service branch and military component that's hosting the gig, as well as text descriptions about the job to be done, the funding available, and the desired outcome that they seek. GigEagle keeps track of the calibration completeness. This one here is at 40%. There's a whole set of things that it will look for to get to 100, but you don't have to reach 100 to publish the gig. As you are inputting your information, it will tell you how many viable candidates you have in the pool and how many are likely to respond as you edit your requirements. By clicking View Candidates, you receive a curated list of candidates to review. There are a number of filters that you can use on the left. All matched leads is based on skills only. All available leads takes candidates' availability into account. A match score from 0 to 5 indicates how suitable each candidate is for the gig. And you can know why. This person has 4 years of relevant experience. They have 7 relevant skills. Someone further down, Captain America here, has a match score of only 2. He's got 1 year of experience and 2 relevant skills, so he is not as suitable for this machine learning engineering gig. So there's a whole lot that the gig manager can know about the candidate pool as they're qualifying candidates. They can keep track of who's been contacted, who the applicants are, who is staffing the gig, and who has actually completed the gig. In addition, each gig manager's screening dashboard show how they're progressing or processing all of the candidates. This is a very effective tool for finding candidates to match requirements and then manage the candidate pipeline over time. So this has been a very quick walkthrough of the highlights of the GigEagle platform. This prototype software is being made available to invited DoD parties to experience during the 6th-month testing period. To express your interest in participating in the GigEagle platform testing, click the link below to fill out our interest form. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the tour.